So after product listing, then categorization, register and sign up. Now next thing is like once user is logged in, we need we have to allow user to add the whatever the items he need to purchase, right? So add to cart process we will see. Once the add to cart process is done, then we will be seeing the order process. Okay. Now, so let's try to register one user. Let me just show you the network call also whatever we are using. So let's try to log in with Ram. Let's use mobile number 0099009988. So mobile number is unique. So if you are using the API and that mobile number is already there, you will get an error. Let's try 112233. Let's see if this mobile number is already exist. Password I'm giving 112233. Okay. So this is the, let me just open the notepad and save it. So this is the mobile number and this is the password we are using. Okay. Now if we click on sign up, our registration API call will be there. So here you can see we have got the response from API side. And here you can say result is false. And we have got the message like mobile number already exists, right? So this mobile number is already present in my database. So let's change to 57. This might not be there. Let's click on sign up. So now you can see we have got the message as sign up success. So here you can see we have got true. In previous API, we have got false and the message also was there. Now API call is success, means user has successfully signed up. Let's try to log in now. So on click of login, now another second model pop-up is coming. Now we have to provide this mobile number. What is that we have sent? 56, I think. So mobile number is nothing but my username. Okay. And password is 112233. Let's try the wrong password first. On click of login, we are hitting the API, but from API we are getting the error like wrong mobile number or message. Let's try the correct message. Login. Still we are getting long. I think what was that username we did? Let me just check the database. Ecom customers. Okay, so latest whatever the record we have created, we just need to check that 57 was their mobile number. Let's try this mobile number. Let's click on login. So now you can see login success because we have sent the correct credential. Now here you can see we are able to see the logged in username and the logout button also. If user is not logged in, we were getting login and the sign registration button, right? But if user is logged in, here we are able to see the logged in username and the logout button. So whatever the data we get from the API that we have stored in the local storage with the name ecom user. So see the logged in user detail we have got. Now, if we see the Swagger on add to cart, we have to integrate one API. So here is the API that we have to use. So this is the object we want to send to the add to cart API. So cart ID is nothing but my primary key. So we don't have to send it by default. We have to send it 0. Customer ID means logged in customer ID. Whatever the details we have got in the local storage, we need to read that. And from that, we need to send the customer ID. Product ID as in on which product we are going to add to cart. That. Okay. And then quantity. So currently here we don't have the text box for quantity, but by default we will send one only. And added date is just the default date, so you don't have to send it. Either you can send it also, but from API side I'm getting the current date. Okay, so let's go to code. So all the service API call we are doing it from here. Models also we are creating. So let's just create that model also. What are the properties? Let me just copy these properties, paste it over here. Cart ID with data type number. So whatever the IDs, integer data type, you can specify with number. It is a date, so we can provide it over here plus date. And this we are going to create a post API, right? So whenever we are working with the post API, rather than going for interface, try to use the class. So that will be more beneficial, as we have already discussed this, right? Now, since it is a class, so in constructor we use all those properties. So this dot added date is equal to new date I'm initializing. This dot cart ID is equal to 0. By default, all the number we will initialize to 0. Customer ID, product ID, quantity is equal to 0. That's it. Why it is still giving error? Properties we have created. Okay, one more closing bracket is remaining for the constructor. That's it. So we have created class, right? So now API call where we are going to do this. So this is my home component, correct? Whatever the product we are displaying, it is in the home component. So let's go to that home component. That is product list. Okay. So here we are actually showing the products. See, we have the card. Okay. So here we are going to create that object first. So let's say cart obj colon. Now instead of normally we create it with any, we have created the interface, sorry, class. So we have to use it. We didn't change it. Cart class. Okay. Let's use this over here. We need to add the import also. Then we need to initialize it. So new card class like this. Okay. Now over here we have this icon. On this click of icon, we need to actually hit that API add to cart. Okay. So let's first create a service. I'm just copy pasting this because my add to cart service is nothing but a post on add to cart, just a function name. Now instead of login, it will be my add to cart. This is the name. Always try to copy paste the URL and the object. If you make the spelling mistake, you won't get it. What is going wrong? You will get 404 or 500. Anything you might get. Then again, you will be playing like what went wrong. So always try to copy paste the URL name, properties name from the object. Okay. Then in product list or add to cart. So here you can see we had that icon. So from this icon click, we need to actually make that API code. So either we can write the click function on this icon or on the paragraph also. Inside paragraph, we have that. So anywhere you can write it. Click add to cart. Now, so imagine like over here, this button click on this icon click, you are going to make that API code. So whatever the product you are there, that product ID you need to send as a parameter. So parameter we get in the item. So item dot product ID. Here we need to send. Let's create this function. Now this function is going to get the product ID. So let's catch it. Data type number. And here we are going to make the API call. So I will just copy paste this. Product service. Now API call which we have to function, the function which we have created is add to cart. Now for add to cart, we need to send the object because here you can say it will need the object. So we have already created the object at the top. So this cart object, what we need to do, cart object. Now in cart object, we are going to need the product ID. So product ID we got from over here. So cart object, sorry, this dot cart object dot product ID we have got this product ID. But we are going to need the user ID also, means logged in customer ID. So that on the page load, you can do it in the constructor or in the ng on it also, since we have not created the constructor. So what we need to do, we need to read the local storage data because we are going to, what is the user which is adding this product, right? So we need to pass the customer ID also, logged in customer ID. So logged in customer data we are storing in the local storage. Let's get that the key. So key name is ecom user. So on the page load, what we are doing, we are just reading the data. Okay. So local or logged user, local storage dot get item. Now, let me just show you the login app component. So while storing the data, we are storing that in the JSON format, a stringify format, means in string format. Then again, if we have to read, if we have to read the data, we need to convert it back to the JSON format. And here I will create, let's say, logged user ID, just a global variable I'm creating. Number I will initialize with 0. Okay. Now here, whenever we read the data from the local storage, always try to add a null check. Okay. So if local user not equal to null, if user is already logged in, so we will get the data. Otherwise, if in the local storage we don't have any key, you will get it null. So that's why we are adding a null check. So if it is not null, again we have to convert it back to the JSON format. First, read the data from the local storage, then convert it back to the JSON object format, right? So parse data and JSON dot parse method we have to use, and we need to pass the logged user data. Okay, so here we are going to get the actual object, and from that object we need to use user ID. So parse data dot, let's check the property name, custom. Okay, whatever you have stored in local storage, that only you need to use it like that. Let me just add a debugger over here and let's check this code also. Now the logged in customer ID I have got into this variable, so this I can use it over here. So this dot cart object dot customer ID is equal to this dot logged in user data. What else is remaining? The cart quantity. So this dot cart object dot quantity is equal to, let's say by default we are, since you might also seen like in e-commerce application, if you are on the home page, some e-commerce application provide a functionality. If you click on add to cart, and if they don't have an input box for providing the quantity, by default one quantity will be added. And again over here you can just do an increment again, but just to keep the application simple, I'm skipping that part. Okay. Now this object we need to pass over function. Okay, since this is a post API, we normally get result true or false. So that extra check we need to add it over here. So if result dot result, if result property is true, then we can show the alert box like item added to cart or added to cart, right? That's it. We will do for now. Let's add a debugger at the start of it. Let's debug it. Now, so currently we are logged in with RAM. Okay, let's try to add this wrinkle or something. If I click on add, my function should be triggered. See, and while adding on this button click, we are passing the product ID. So here you can see in the parameter we have got 16609 something product ID this product has, right? Now we are assigning what details we have. So in logged user also you can see 732. Now this 732 coming from our local storage. See, logged in customer ID. So that only we have got. So now if we see the cart object, you can see cart ID is 0, customer ID also we have got, product ID we have got, quantity also is there, and added date by default date also we have got. Let's continue. Okay, so now here you can say in result we have got the property result true and product added to cart. Now the customer ID was, what was the customer ID? 732. Now I have added my item card, but that whatever the products I have added to the cart, that should be displayed over here, right? So let's check the API for that. So before this, yeah. So get card product by customer ID. So even if over here we pass the 732, currently we have just added one product, so we should get that. See, whatever the product we have added, that we have got. Now this API we just need to integrate. So let's create service. Now this is going to be GET API call. Let's copy this. Get cart data by cust ID. Okay. Let's get the URL. So this is going to be my URL. After that 732 will be dynamic. So ID is already there. And here cust ID. And this we will pass as a parameter over here. Right now we in service we have created a function which is going to make the API call to get all the product added to the cart by customer ID. Now see, uh, now here we have to create a subject. Now I will explain like why. So this navbar is in my app component. Okay, so this product display card, whatever the add to cart item we are showing, this is in my app component. But from here I'm doing the add to cart. So once I click on over here and API call is successful, then I need to trigger one API call and then get the data, and that data will be visible over here. So this is one component and this is another component. So from one component, I need to inform another component to get the updated, right? So here comes the component communication part. So this component doesn't have any relationship. They are not parent child or anything. So we have to create a subject over here. So let's create a subject, or first in the app component, I will just write the API call. Then we will call that function. So let's copy here, get cart function name I'm giving, get product, get cart by customer ID. Now again, okay, we have already created, we all in this component, we have already read the data from the local storage. So this dot logged in user data dot cust ID means local storage data. Cust ID was there, no? Yeah. Now, so this function we will call it on the page load also, because once the page load, if we reload whatever the logged in customer is there, we need to call it on the page load also. We are going to do it. So let's implement the on init. Let's implement this also. We can do the API call for now the constructor, but that's just wrong. We should use constructor just for the initialization. All the API calls should trigger from ng on init. So this dot get card. So on page load also I'm calling this function. Okay, let me just show you. Now, whatever the data we are going to get from this API, we need to store that also. So here cart data, I'm just giving it any for now. It is going to be a ref object. And whatever the data I get from that cart API, I will store it into this. This dot cart data is equal to res dot data. Right? So if we get the data from the API, we are storing whatever the cart data we got into this variable. Now this variable we can use in my navbar to iterate. So here you can see this is that li which is getting iterated. I'm talking about this. Okay. So we just need to make it dynamic now. So let's remove this. And on the li, we can use star. Okay. So now it is Angular 17. House model is there. We didn't import the common module. So instead of star ng4, let's use our norm at the rate for loop, the new thing which we have got. It will iterate on the card data, and let's move this li inside this. Right now, image. So this SRC should be dynamic, because from card data you are getting the image also. Here you can see you are getting the image also, product image URL. So card, sorry, item dot cart image, then product name also we have to make it dynamic. So item dot, let's check, short name we will display, and the price, item dot product price. Right. So let's just wait for now. So I just want to show you, like on page you will get the product, but once we click on the add to cart, then it won't refresh. Okay, we need to use. Currently we just had one product that is visible now. Now let's try thumbs up. Just pay attention now. Now on click of add to cart, API call is success, correct? But here you cannot see that. So because we have done the add to cart from the one component, so how does app component will know that I need to call that get all cart function again because user has just added to the cart. They need to inform in app component that you can call API so that you can show the updated cart because user has added to cart. So here we need to create the subject. So we just have one common service. So let's create a subject over here on cart updated dollar colon observable. Sorry, subject we have to create. Okay, data type will be let's make it a boolean to send any data. Now by default it will show like it needs the initializer. So let's make it undefined. Now, so when we do the add to cart, when add to cart API call is success, we need to emit this observable. So we are doing add to cart in the product list. So here in the success call, so this product service dot our observable name dot text. Okay, so we are emitting this. Let's make it true. Then in app mode, we need to subscribe to this observable. So whenever we use this, that subject will emit, and then wherever you subscribing, that will get executed, right? So this observable we need to subscribe in my app component. The constructor or in ng on it, anywhere you can do that. So this dot product service dot subscribe. Now we know that I'm not going to send the data or anything, so we can just use result. And here, once we do the add to cart and from product list, we emit that observable. So we just need to, we have subscribed this, and in subscribe, we are just going to make this API call again. Let me just add a debugger so that I can show you the flow, how it is executing here. Okay. Let's save and check. Okay, so let's try. Currently, we just have two products. See, the latest product thumbs up we have added. Now it is visible because page load was there. Let's try water lemon. On click of add to cart. Now add to cart API call is success. Do we have a debugger? Let's enable it. Now API call might be there. No, why? Code is not saved properly or what? Let's try again. Still two products are there. Okay, third product was there. Now let's try to add. Let's try to add T now. Okay. Debugger is on add to cart. API call is success. Let's. Okay, so API call is success. We have got true. It will go to a block, and here we are executing. We are emitting the add to cart. So now here you can see we are emitting that subject. Why it is saying undefined? No. Okay. So once we emit that, why observable is not getting subscribed? Constructor is correct. We are subscribing also. Product service. We just have one service only. Do we have any error? No. Let me just try to run it once again because code is not wrong or something. So what we did, we have just initialized this, and from app component also we have removed that question mark, and from here also because that observable was subject was undefined, so we cannot use anything on the which is undefined, right? So let's try now. Let's try this starter now. So currently, if we see, we have around 5 products. Okay. Let's see starter. On click of add, API call is there. So we got the response. Now if we see over here, see now it is not undefined. So previously it was coming undefined. So we cannot emit on something which is undefined. How it is going to know that it is observable, right? So now just we have initialized that. So now it will execute. So if we continue, so here you can see in the app component we have got that subscriber, right? And result we have got true. So this function call will be there. So on click of after add call, you can see get product by customer also, and whatever the product we have added, that will be visible. See, starter is coming, right? So this is the kind of scenario where we have to go for the subject and subject behavior. Now, on click of this remove also, we need to remove this product from my cart also. So for that also we have an API. So let's get that. That is delete product from cart. Okay. Now, when I created this API, my server was not supporting post and the put APIs. So that's why I had created this with get method, but ideally it should be put. Okay. So it doesn't matter, but always check like what is the method type of your API. Use that only. If it is delete, you cannot decide like you use the delete. Whatever API team has created, that you need to use it. Okay, let's try that. I just need to get the URL. Now on click of this cross icon, we need to call this API. Okay. To create one more service in product. This is going to be get only. So I'm just copy pasting this. Remove product. Let's get the URL. And here we have to send the cart ID. Okay. Primary key. Obviously cart has a table. There will be a primary key. So that ID we need to pass it over here. Now in app component, we need to create one function that we will call on that, what do we say, cross icon. So let's copy this, paste it, remove product, remove cart product. And this function will have a parameter that will be cart ID, data type number. And whatever the parameter we get, that we will pass it over here. And once we successfully remove the cart, again, we need to call this API so that updated cart will be visible. Now this function we have to call. See, this is the close that cross icon. Okay. Now here, click this function API call, and we want to send the cart ID. So item dot cart ID. Let's add the debugger. Always make a habit whenever you are writing for code for the first time. Either you can add a debugger over here or in the console you it, but just try to debug the code. So you also know like what is coming. Are you doing proper thing or not? Now let's try to remove this T. Okay. Now if I click on the cross, call got trigger and we have got the cart ID. So whatever the cart ID that particular product has 4,786 that we have got. Now this only we are sending to the API call. Continue. So from API we have got the success. Okay. And once it is success, we are again calling the get API. So here you can see that T got removed. Let's remove the starter. Continue. See, that is also got removed. Let me remove the debugger. Remove this. Okay, even if we refresh, now you will only get to see 2 products only. Let's remove thumbs up also. Got it? So this is how we have done the add to cart process. So when add to cart is there now, when you are appearing for the interview or machine test, now they want e-commerce application is very basic. Everyone knows nowadays like how to build the e-commerce and everything, but they want to see something else. So always, even if there is not a scenario where you can use subject or subject behavior, try to create it, make a reusable component and try to pass the data so that interviewer will judge you on that skill. Like, yes, you know how you can write observable and everything, right? The if scenario is not there, try to create the reusable components so that he will know, like, you know how to create reusable component, input, output, emitter, that all you know, right? That is the place where you can showcase whatever the topics you know. Don't just go and create the basic thing and submit your machine test. Try to implement something new, complex scenarios, okay,